It's a Saturday and I'm in my ski dungeon doing top secret evil ski things. Oh, I'm not actually doing evil things, but I am working on a new hot sauce recipe. You've all been watching me play in powder for the last 2 seasons, and I consistently get questions about the gear I use, so I decided today, what the heck, I'm just gonna run you through every piece of gear that I own and that I use, and talk about why I use it. I wish I could stand here and tell you that everything I have here has been sponsored because I'm a professional, but that's just not the case. Like, I've bought almost everything that I have in my ski setup with my own money. For any of the pieces of gear that I have been sent, I will let you guys know. This video is not an effort to make you purchase anything. I am gonna have affiliate links in the description. It's kind of like you scratching my back. You know, if you like a product, you're trying to purchase it, you click the link, I get a small commission. It's a win-win for the both of us if you appreciate my content. But this video is by no means an effort to make you purchase anything. It's just me talking about my gear, and I thought you might be interested in that. Let's start with the base layers. Whoa! I'm in my base layers. I'm not going to show you guys my underwear. You can check my OnlyFans account at Rise and Alpine for the OnlyFans content. I don't have OnlyFans. Don't look too hard. Let's start with the socks. Can you see these socks? Oh yeah, there we go. I'm not that flexible. Oh wow, that's a crazy move here. This is a SmartWool Merino wool, slightly cushioned sock. I forget the name of this one, but I wear this sock and I'll hold a pair because that's a bit ridiculous. SmartWool PhD light ski socks. I love these things. I've used them religiously for the past, I think, I don't know, 4 years or something. They feel really great, and it's always a common mistake among skiers to try and get a thicker sock to have warmer feet. Thinner is better. It gives you more circulation. It keeps you warm. And if you're in a performance boot, the boot's already so tight. Plus, if you add on wacky feet like me, like huge, weird-looking insteps, then a thin sock is a must because you don't want to have any boot-related pain. So if you're having any boot-related pain, the first step is to always get a super, super thin ski sock. I choose Merino, and I choose the SmartWool Merino because I find 100% Merino doesn't smell. It's the best base layer, keeps you warm, keeps you cool, wicks sweat really well, dries fast, and doesn't stink. I can wear these socks like 4 ski days in a row before washing them, if not more. Like when I go on big 7-day trips, I just wear them every single day. I also have the padded version. So these are, I think, called cushioned. They're slightly cushioned, a little bit of cushioning, tiny bit in the heel, and there's some cushioning right here on the shin to prevent shin bangs. So any of you guys doing front flips or heavy landings or whatever. I'm not the biggest fan of padding, but because my boots were packing out, I found this was making my boots fit a bit tighter without getting a new liner. So that's why I have them. The SmartWool socks aren't super cheap, and to be honest, they usually only last me about 1 season. So they function great, but I'll usually rip holes straight through the heel and through the toes within a single season. Let's talk about my bottoms. So these bottoms are just Paradox brand, nothing special. I think I bought these at Costco for like $30. You can also find them on Amazon. They're a mix of polyester. They have like 11% merino and some spandex. I found them to be perfect. They're comfortable, they're real form-fitting for the après, you know? What else do you need? But yeah, genuinely, I've had no problems with these. I love them. I put them in the dryer, and I'm a huge fan. They have kept me warm, they've kept me cool, and I like them. Usually, everyone always says Merino, 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 which is 100% true, but these things have done me great. On top, I've got this Stanfield's Heat FX base layer. Honestly, I took this from my dad's closet like 4 or 5 years ago, so hopefully he isn't watching this. Sorry, Dad. I took this from his closet, and I've been wearing it religiously ever since. Every single day I've skied in the last 5 years, I've had this on. It's a mix of, I think, 85% polyester and 15% merino. So it's not complete merino, but it gets the job done. Now, merino is the best for outdoor sports, given its sweat wicking, cooling, and warming properties. So I did upgrade this summer, and I got a little story for you. So I was going for a walk to the gym close to where I live, and started chatting this guy up in the park who was throwing his cute dog a ball. And it turns out that this dude owns a mountain bike company called NF, right? See that there? NF is extremely well known in the mountain bike community, but I don't discriminate. If it's kick-ass, it's kick-ass. Everything that they make is produced and designed in Vancouver and then tested in our wacky weather systems in the sea to sky and the coastal mountains. Now, I'm not the worst son in the world, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is perfect. My dad's birthday is coming up. He's just getting into mountain biking, and he needs Merino because I stole his base layer and I've been wearing it for the last 3 or 4 years. I end up buying my dad one of these 100% merino wool riding shirts from NF, and man, he was stoked about it. Completely forgot about the Stanfields, which I'd been borrowing for the last 5 years, and he was so stoked about it that I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to try this. So I guess I have something weird about wearing my dad's clothing. We're gonna have to forget about that after this video. But then I tried it for a day out and about hiking, and I'm like, holy shit, I love this thing. Long story short, I love my dad so much that I had to get one of my own, and honestly, 100% merino, it is phenomenal. I've worn this fishing so far, I've worn this hiking. I absolutely love it, and I think this is gonna be my new, 5-10 year merino piece that I'm gonna wear forever, and I actually don't even think I've washed it yet, which is a bonus. Mid layers. Let's put this on. So it's always important that you layer properly when skiing, especially when you're wearing a shell. So what I use is a Marmot Polar Tech fleece. I got this on sale for like $30. Can't remember where, can't remember when, but I really like it. I actually don't like wearing anything with a hood under my ski jacket. I've already got too much hair in the way. I don't like the feeling of a hood getting bunched up. So all of those companies that sell like little hooded coats, not for me. This is perfect. This is the layer that I wear pretty much 99.9% of the time while I'm skiing. It's my go-to mid layer, and I find it just does the job. I wear this, I wear my merino base layer, and then I wear a shell, and that pretty much has me covered for all of my touring days and all of my resort days. When temperatures really dip and it gets even cooler, I opt for my third layer. It's not often that I'll wear this over my mid layer. That's just insane. Usually I'll take this layer off and just wear this. But this is the Patagonia Nano Puff, and this is my favorite jacket of all time. So the Patagonia Nano Puff is an absolute beauty. This is my wear around the city, wear to work jacket. I wear it while I'm skiing. I wear it while I'm hanging out. I wear this while I'm editing videos. I'm never really a fan of new clothes, so you give me something, it usually grows on me and I end up wearing it all the time, but I don't ever buy new clothing. I just don't care for it. So Laura got this for me for a gift, and I didn't know if I was gonna wear it, and let me tell you, I have worn this every single day, every single season for the past 4 years. It's held up really great. I put fishing hooks through it all the time. It's got a couple little strings and whatever hanging off, but Patagonia is a great company, and they'll always repair stuff. So even my old coats that are I don't know, 20 years old that my dad gave me, they'll still fix them. So this is a great layer for a bit of everything. The Nano Puff, absolute fave of mine. I'll rave about my fave. I'm getting really hot, so I'm gonna delayer here for a sec. This is more of a strip tease than it is a gear showing. One last layer before we get into shells. So here I've got an Eddie Bauer down puff jacket. As you saw, it packs up really nice. This thing's my go-to for super cold weather. I always keep it in my truck, or I have it in my backcountry ski bag. If you're ever gonna get stuck backcountry skiing, you need to make sure you have a warm down layer. You can see a bunch of feathers flying out, so this is real goose feathers in here. I really like this puffer. It's comfortable, it's extremely warm. Eddie Bauer has great sales every year. The discounts are massive, so I think I got this thing half off 4 or 5 years ago. I wouldn't recommend you buy Eddie Bauer, to be honest with you, because I've had a lot of rips in this. I think there's duct tape, right? You can see the duct tape on my shoulder. I've had rips in this because it's down, but Eddie Bauer won't do any repairs. I like things to last for a lifetime, and if I'm gonna invest, I wanna invest in quality. And since this ripped and they won't really fix it, it's kind of turns me off Eddie Bauer in general. But the function of this is great, and I probably won't get anything different because, like I said, keeps me warm, it's packable, which is awesome, and it's easy to put in a bag and have anywhere to stay warm. My trusty headband. This thing is just like a mech ear band, like one of those things runners wear. My hair is so long that I find I like this on to just holds my hair in place, and also I find it keeps my ears warm as well as a gaiter because I always take the ear flaps off of my helmet. This might be one of my most prized pieces of my clothing collection because without it, my helmet just does not feel comfortable. So like, I need this thing. This is the brain. My ski pants. These are my trusty Oakley TNP shell bib pants. I've had these for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years as well. As you can see, they're all ripped up, right? Just covered in duct tape, all ripped up. Reason I duct tape it is because my ski brakes have been getting caught in my pants and then I can't turn, and that's quite dangerous. When I bought these, I didn't have much disposable income and I just needed something that worked. I think I got them for $120 on sale. I love bib pants. I'd wear nothing else, but these have all the functions you want. I love these pockets right in here in my chest. I hold my cameras. They got deep pockets on the sides. They've got the vents that open up, which I really like. And I don't really like these buckles. I actually hate these buckles. They're big and bulky. And the pants are an XL, and I wear them super low down because I find it comfortable and I just like the length when it's like that. They still do the job, and I don't really have too much of a reason to get rid of them other than patching maybe this spot at the bottom so my ski brakes don't get caught. Now it's time for my most recognizable and iconic piece of equipment. Here she is. The Helly Hansen Ridge Infinity jacket. I got this at a warehouse sale at Helly Hansen, probably same thing 4 or 5 years ago when I seemed to just like refresh all my gear. At first I really hated this jacket. I hated having this orange hood, and everyone seemed to have this orange hood, but I've kind of really grown to love it for the function of the jacket. The pockets in the front here, these square pockets, you don't see them in all jackets, but I can hold so much camera equipment because it's a horizontal pocket, so I absolutely love that style. It's more of like a free ride jacket. It's got a longer fit, which I really like, being a tall guy. Inner pocket on the chest is solid. My zipper has actually been broken for 2 years. I can't pull it past one of the teeth here. They would fix it, but I just ski so much that I have never taken it in to get fixed. These hand things, always amazing. Get me stoked, super comfy. Like, I love having, I don't like jackets that don't have these. Got a little pass holder here for the Whistler pass. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously the jackets, you know, it's been through the ringer with me. I'm gonna get that sewed up and I'm gonna keep wearing this jacket because it's my fave, best shell in the world. I've tried pretty hard to reach out to Helly Hansen to get some sort of sponsorship or partnership or see if they could make me a newer version of this same color set or something, but haven't been able to get any sort of affiliate partnership going with them, so keep trying. And I'll keep wearing it because I like it. Other than the spring, I'll always be wearing a neck gaiter while I'm skiing. Keeps the hair at bay, and I just like having my neck covered. I don't like the feeling of wind. So what I always wear is this Oakley neck gaiter. Know you guys have seen this. It's just an Oakley gray camo neck gaiter. I think I got it on sale for 12 bucks on the Oakley website there. And yeah, it's great. Just good old neck gaiter, goes around your head, you know. This one's a bit tighter than like maybe a buff one. Maybe that's just because of my hair, but it's like kind of a tight fit, not the most comfortable. But it's what I'm used to. It's what I've always used, and I'm a fan, man. Really like it. She's my favorite. For my ski helmet, I wear the Smith Vantage helmet. It's got the MIPS system in it, so that's that rotational system, and it's also got the Chiroid, I think it's called, which is this kind of honeycomb system as well. I like this helmet a lot, and mainly because it's got this venting. I get a really hot head, so I like having this venting. I like the BOA adjustment because when I have a GoPro on my head, I find that it can push the helmet down, so I find the BOA adjustment really cinches it on there, and I like the ability for me to be able to remove the ear strap. So I've worn this helmet, different models. I get a new one every probably 2 or 3 years as needed, you know, according to the manufacturer if I have a big fall. But this is a sweet dome. Your helmet's only as good as your goggles, right? No, you can't ski without goggles, and Smith has been my go-to. These goggles are Smith iOS goggles. These are about 4 or 5 years old. Have no idea how the lenses have survived this long. Currently, I got my sun lenses on them because it must have been sunny. But as you can see, Smith iOS goggles. Me, my mom, my dad, we all have the same strap because we got these on sale from Sporting Life in Langley, BC when it opened. I remember there's just crazy sales, so my family was like, ah! And we all bought pretty much, like, I think we all bought the same pair of goggles, and mine have just lasted the longest. I love the way they fit around my eyes. I've never had fog issues. In terms of the band, I don't really necessarily like it that much, but the function's so good. The lenses are great. The first lens that I got is this sun one. I wear this like 0% of the time, the sun lens, because, like, you know, Whistler. But look how old these are, guys. Look how just ratted up these goggles are. They're just destroyed. The foam's destroyed. The lens I usually wear is this one right here. It's the kind of the low light blue lens. This is perfect for Whistler if you can kind of see that lens. This is what I'll have on at 99.9% of the time. But Smith goggles have never let me down. The iOS series, it's a fabulous series, and it's it'll be hard to change my mind. My Smith goggles, as you saw, are starting to fall apart, and Smith isn't really that open to like offering sponsorships or discounts or free gear, but some other goggle companies are super generous and have sent me some goggles to test out, which I'm really excited to try this year. So the first one are the Powster, these Robo goggles that I reviewed for you guys. These things are awesome. Lenses are sweet. They fit super comfy. I think they look pretty sick. And they've got Bluetooth, a Bluetooth calling system inside them. So I'm excited to try these on the snow. The other new pair of goggles I have to try, which I'm super excited about too, are these GLADE Photochromic goggles. These goggles are the Fathom Plus from GLADE, and GLADE is a company that kind of came out of the weeds recently in the last couple years. GLADE makes super reasonably priced goggles with photochromic lenses. So I actually bought a pair of these for my sister for Christmas last year, and she loves them. She hates switching lenses. Her Smith ones had just gotten scratched up. So I bought her a pair of these and she loves them. You never have to change the lens because it changes with the conditions. So I reached out to them and I said, yo, I'd love to try a pair. And they were like, yeah, man, for sure. Here's the pair. So that worked well. Super excited, super thankful I got sent these, and I'm excited to try them. These are the Fathom Plus goggles. I think they look pretty sweet. I think a photochromic lens is going to be super handy, especially at a place like Whistler where the top is different than the bottom at any given time, right? Look at these things. Pretty sweet, right? Not bad. All right. I'm going to take this helmet off. I don't think I have to wear a helmet and a gaiter indoors all day. So how do I keep my fingers warm? Well, there's two sets of gloves and mitts that I wear. The first on the resort, my daily driver, or the Hestra fall line mitts. They're leather. I love them. I used to have problems keeping my hands warm. I switched from gloves to mitts. Game changing, especially on the ski resort. I know people like having the functioning of their hands if they're in the backcountry or snowmobiling, but man, mitts, absolute life changer for me when skiing and riding. Hestra fall line, they're complete leather. When they break in, the most comfortable thing you've ever had in your hand. They've got an awesome wrist strap. Downsides to them is they get really wet in damp conditions. And also in warm conditions, they can be like a little too hot. They're ideal for like cold, dry places, but I still love them for Whistler black on weather. The second pair of gloves I wear, these are mainly for touring and like warm spring days. These are just Bushline outdoor gloves I bought at Cabela's. I love these things. They're neoprene. So I find when I'm touring, I start sweating. So I don't need anything too crazy. I kind of just need something to cover the bite a bit, and that's a bit breathable. And these things are awesome. Obviously, they're pretty ripped in through the hand there, but I find it's good when I'm like filming to use these and just kind of like helps when I have the cameras and I'm touring and stuff, or in the springtime. But yeah, I might have to stick some duct tape on that thing. It's getting kind of flappy. That's it on the apparel side of things. So I'm gonna take this ski gear off because I'm in my house, and let's talk about the fun stuff, my bindings, skis, and boots. I've got two sets of boots, a resort boot and a more backcountry-ish resort boot. So I'm gonna talk about the resort boot first. So these are the Technica Mach 1 high volume ski boot. I bought these, I believe, in 2021-2022 ski season. This is a pretty special boot in my opinion because not many brands make a boot shell that has a big last, which means a wide boot. So 103 millimeter last on a 130 flex boot. So for me, I've got some really insane insteps. So there's a bump on one of my feet that just hurts so much in a ski boot. So you might notice that I always keep these buckles undone, and that's because I've got such a big instep that I just cannot handle any pressure on that, and I just keep my foot cinched in with basically that buckle. This boot has been a lifesaver for me and made skiing extremely comfortable. So I can't speak highly enough on how this has like fit well for me. Obviously my foot has a little more space and roominess, which makes it more comfortable, but on the ski resort, honestly, like the amount I'm on the resort, I'm okay to trade off like a bit of performance. I'm not like on the Freeride World Tour. I'm okay to trade some performance for a little more comfort, like just a little. So this has been a sweet boot for me, but like I said, it's a charger of a boot. It's super stiff, which I love. And it just rips, and easy boot for boot fitters to kind of work with and change with these different mold things. So I've had this fitted, I think, twice, and then it was kind of perfect for me. This is packed out at this point. The liner is pretty packed out, so I've got almost too much space. So I'm thinking I'm gonna put a new liner into these guys. But the Technica Mach 1, I would recommend this boot if it works for your foot to anyone who is a resort shredder, who likes to carve, who likes doing big mountain stuff. Like, it'll do everything, and it'll do everything well. Love this boot. The second boot I have are my pin boots, and they're Nordica Striders. So this is kind of Nordica's hybrid kind of touring and downhill skiing boot. It's a pretty awesome boot, and Nordica actually sent me these as well as this one pair of Nordica Enforcers after I made a review video that did really well, about 20,000 views, and I said to them, hey, I love your skis. Would you be interested, you know, in sending me a set of skis? They said, yeah, for sure. That would be, we'd love to see you on our skis. So Nordica actually has sponsored me with a set of boots and a set of skis, which I appreciate so much. I ended up actually buying these skis on my own dime because I love those skis so much. I'm so grateful for that, and it felt like such a huge moment in kind of my YouTube skiing career to have a ski company actually recognize the work I was doing and send me some super awesome gear. These are kind of my backcountry specific boot for me, but for a lot of people, this is a great resort and backcountry hybrid boot. This is a backcountry boot that rides like a resort boot, so it's got 130 flex. I wear this pretty much strictly for the backcountry because I prefer the downhill ride of my Technica Mach 1s, just personal preference. But this boot is a sweet boot, kind of do it all if you're looking for something that is good in the resort and solid in the backcountry. I find that it's a 130 flex, but it feels a little less than that. You know, these touring boots have like different shells that just kind of make it feel softer. I might be wrong, but that's just my opinion. But the nice thing about a touring boot is you do get like those grip walk soles, which are sweet when you're doing climbing. You know, you've got the walk mode, which is great. This is a smaller last, so smaller width than my Technica. So it's been a lot of work to kind of get my foot to fit into this. But once I got my foot kind of fitted into this, I've been a big fan. At the end of the day, if you only want to buy one boot, definitely look for the hybrid style boot. It's nice to just be able to do everything in one. But if you're fortunate enough to have two sets and you want specific boots for specific things, it is always great to have, you know, a downhill specific boot. Personally, I value the downhill more than I value the uphill. So I don't think you'd ever see me on like a pair of Scarpas because I feel like it would feel like wearing slippers or something while I was skiing. I just like being locked in. It's just my personal preference. And this is kind of a best of both worlds type of boot for me. Skis and bindings. We're going to start with the oldest in my quiver and kind of just work my way to the newest. So first set of skis that I have and kind of my favorite all-time ski is the Head iRally. This ski is so close to my heart, and I remember going to the destination when I was like 15 and having the guy who works there recommend these to me. I got them on a pro deal because I had just started ski instructing, and I was just straight up a guy who loved carving and skiing POW. And this is the ski that I was really stoked about because it was actually a bit wider underfoot. It's 77 millimeters underfoot, and believe it or not, 77 for me at the time was actually a really wide ski underfoot. They're 176 centimeters long. So pretty short for my height, which makes them super fun for like small and snappy turns. I rode just this ski for about 7 years until I think I was like maybe 22, 23 years old, back from university, and I got my first set of powder skis. So these things so close to my heart. I still love taking them out, sharpening the edges. These skis are still one of my favorite on earth, and believe it or not, this isn't the original pair that I had. I actually wrecked the original pair of these skis that I had during a few nasty wipeouts a year ago, but I went online and I kept my eyes on Facebook Marketplace for like 2 years, and boom, I saw a pair of iRallies pop up, pulled trigger, gave a guy 90 bucks. These things have the best bases I've ever seen for a ski that's this old. Sharpened the edges up, and I pretty much got a fresh set. Boom, like I still have a pair of iRallies. This is the ski I'll always take out in Whistler on hard pack days where I'm just strictly wanting to rip groomers, or if I'm skiing with someone who's just kind of wanting to ski groomers. I can also ride this ski in choppy snow. I can ride it in POW if it's not heavy POW, and it's super fun. Like I rode this 77 underfoot for like 6 or 7 years and had the time of my life. Like this is the ski that made me the skier who I am today, and I just love it. Pop that back on the wall. The next ski wasn't my first powder ski. It was my second powder ski. My first powder ski was an Elan Blog, which I ended up selling after I bought it used and sold them a month later because the bindings were bad. But here it is. The next ski in my quiver, the Salomon Rocker 2s. These and the head skis were my entire quiver 2 years ago for a few years there, and I absolutely love them. This is the ski I started ski touring on with the frame bindings here, the Salomon Guardian bindings, and this ski, man, is just so close to my heart. There's absolutely no top sheet left on either side. They're completely waterlogged. Like you pick these up, you've never felt a heavier ski in your life. And the bases are absolutely destroyed. Salomon really hit the nail on the head when they made this ski. The construction is so sturdy. I'd run into rocks full throttle. It wouldn't snap. These skis were well ahead of their years in terms of technology, and they're still a blast to ride in POW. On the groomers, these things kind of suck. They're floppy, like planks. You can't really lay them down very good, but I still will always love this ski. And in terms of early season, late season, early season touring, I'll still ride this ski all the time because I like it, and the bases couldn't get any worse. The bindings on these skis are old Salomon Guardian frame bindings. So frame bindings are sweet. If you don't know what they are, the whole binding comes off, so you don't need touring boots when you're ski touring. So it's great for anyone who's just starting touring. You wear your normal ski boots, and then they lock back in when you're skiing down. I actually lost a piece to these bindings, and I put a nut in with some Loctite, and that's been holding it for the whole, oh my God, it's fully loose. Well, I don't know how that's been holding it that long. It's been holding it for years, and now it is fully loose. On camera, I figured that out. Well, probably shouldn't ride these. Probably done. The bindings are probably done. The neighbors are going to hate me. Downstairs neighbors are probably always wondering what I'm up to up here, you know? Time for the new and pretty ones. We've got the Nordica Enforcer 104s. I run the longest length at 191 centimeters. I'm like a bit over 6'2", so it's like the perfect size ski for me. Getting on these skis last year was crazy because I went from the Salomon Rockers and the head iRallies, and then found a ski that gave me the best of like both of these skis I liked, all packaged into one. So this thing truly has been a bit of a quiver killer for me. I can carve well enough on them, obviously not as good as a smaller like charging ski, but I can carve and lay down big arcing turns going fast. These skis just crave fast skiing. With these guys, I can ski any sort of steeps with them super comfortably, any technical terrain, and skiing them on powder is an absolute blast. If someone asked me what should I get for an all-round ski for Whistler, I would say without a doubt a Nordica Enforcer Free 104. Anything from the Nordica Enforcer line is great. The Unlimited's a bit lighter. You've got 2 sheets of metal in this, which make them a bit heavier, but I like a heavy ski personally, and it just makes them, you know, more durable, more robust. I think I've just got some marker Jesters on here. They go up to 16 din. I think I've got them at, what do I got them here? I got them at a 10 din on the toe and in the heel. The bindings are great. I know people usually always want look pivots on all their stuff, but I'm happy with the Jesters. They were cheaper. The main downside of these skis for me is the lack kind of flex. There's enough rocker in it to make it floaty, but there's not that much flex. You can't like have all that much fun and do butters and stuff on the Enforcers. But if you're like not a person who like does a bunch of tricks, it's like the perfect ski, and I'd recommend it for anyone who charges hard and wants something that can kind of do it all. Boom, the big boys, the Nordica Enforcer 115. So these are 191 centimeters long, 115 at the waist, so super wide ski. Shockingly, like I thought these things were going to be absolute sailboats on the snow, but to my surprise, they shred almost as well in all-terrain as these Nordica Enforcers do. There's a bit less of a groomer performance, but it's not wildly far off. So the technology and the shape of this big ski to me has been so impressive. I can pretty much throw it around like a smaller ski and just have an absolute blast and have lots of float. It's got a bit more of a rocker, I believe, than the 104s. So that actually kind of makes it a little easier to turn when going slow. And it's also makes it feel a bit more playful, even though I think the flex is identical. It's still 2 sheets of metal in there, wood core, and a real burly ski. This was my favorite ski, I think, last year, especially when there was any sort of POW. Skied it all the time. I've got my Backcountry bindings on here. These are the Marker Duke PTs. So these are a hybrid resort and ski touring boot. I could do a whole review just on these bindings if people are interested. But the toe piece essentially can come right off, and you put your pins right into here and then tour like that. So the great thing about this is you've got a full alpine toe piece while you're skiing, and then you've got a full pin toe piece while you're touring. Downside is you're taking your toe piece on and off and carrying it and putting it in your bag. But for me, I like heavy things, I like robust things, and that's why I'm a big fan of these skis. The Enforcer line, I'm such a massive fan of, and I just think Nordica makes absolutely stellar skis. And I'm happy I've got both these widths, so like in the backcountry or on big POW days, I go with these guys, or if I know I'm going to be skiing real off-piste all day. And then if I know I'm going to be doing a mixed bag, you know, like it's going to be a bit more hard packed, boom. I grab the 104s. They're going to be versatile. They're going to be fun on everything. Ooh, well, that's not good. Ski poles. I usually find them at garage sales. I usually get them from friends when friends break a pole and want to get rid of one, and I mix and match. Usually put my own creative mounts on them, so I can attach GoPros and things. But the thing about poles, you know, they're just poles. Doesn't really matter too much. The only big difference is you kind of want big buckets for POW, and you kind of want smaller buckets on the resort if you're skiing more groomers. These are actually Laura's poles, and then I broke one of them, so now I've got one pole and I'm going to match it with another one. The only poles that have lasted the test of time for me are these white and pink ones that I found at a garage sale forever ago. They're probably from the 90s, and they absolutely rock. They've never broken, and they're just like steel now, but since I broke Laura's, I gave her those as her daily driver. For backcountry poles, I use the Black Diamond Expedition 3. It's been a super robust pole ever since I bought it from Mech on sale because they were snowshoe rental poles 4 years ago. The Black Diamond Expedition 3 has been a great companion of mine in the summer and in the winter. I wouldn't recommend Black Diamond poles to anyone now. They stopped making aluminum tips, and now they make these, carbon tips. And I had 3 replacement tips from Black Diamond last year. All of them broke within 1 day of skiing, and I probably spent $70, $80 on pole replacements that are complete junk. So I'll never buy Black Diamond pole tips again. I've made these just hiking poles now, which I'm sad about because I love these as a touring pole, but I just can't afford to buy more tips that are going to snap in half. It's really frustrating. So Black Diamond, if you're watching this, go back to making those nice steel or aluminum tips. These new carbon tips totally suck, and the replacement tips are a waste of money if you're trying to replace your pole tips. Don't buy them. I reached out to Black Diamond customer service and said, hey, your pole tips keep breaking. I was wondering if I could get like a refund on them. And they said, oh, you're misusing them. And I said, I'm not misusing them. I'm literally skiing them in normal snow. Anyways, I could go on for hours about how annoying the pole tip situation was. But all I'm going to say is if it's got a plastic or carbon tip from Black Diamond or a replacement tip, I wouldn't buy it. That's just my opinion. Time to check out my backcountry gear. Backpacks. So for backpacks, I have 2 different backpacks, and they're both made by Backcountry Access. I love this company, and they make amazing gear. This backpack is the Stash 20. I bought this on Facebook Marketplace when I first started ski touring, and I've used it as my winter resort skiing bag, my ski touring bag, and my summer hiking bag. So this thing has done it all for me. It's had no rips, no tears, nothing. It's got all the sweet features you want in a bag, like the open from the inside so you can access gear without getting it wet. I love that feature. It's just got all the pockets that you need. If you want to do radio connections in the arms of your pack, it's got it. If you want to A-frame your skis, it's got the straps. It's got the little helmet carrier here. So BCA is super thoughtful in all of their gear, and it's only gotten better. This backpack has done me so well. I couldn't speak more highly of any piece of equipment. No rips, nothing, summer, winter, all weather. This thing has been by my side. Now it's my resort pack because I upgraded to the BCA Float E2 Avalanche backpack, which I'll show you. I know a lot of people who don't believe in avalanche backpacks and worry about how it's going to affect your decision making. Frankly, hasn't affected my decision making, but why not have as much safety gear as you possibly can and increase your rate of survival on mellow terrain if it slides. The great thing about this bag is it's got all the features that I liked about my Stash 20 bag. So it's got all these sweet pockets, attachments, and more, which I'll show you. So it's got all the spots for radios on the front. It's got the little thing you tug when you want to release the airbag system. The airbag system is rechargeable with the E2 Ultralight system. Since it's rechargeable with a super capacitor, it means you can pop it off and practice using it, which I think is great because, you got to know where to grab it, how to grab it with your gloves, whatever, and make sure it works and it's folded in there properly. So it's nice to have the option to test it and just recharge it. There's a couple things I really love about this bag over my Stash 20. And one of those things is the water bottle pocket is such a good invention. Right here, you've got this water bottle pocket or camera pocket or whatever, and you can store something right by your side. This is one of the best parts about this bag is this special little pocket right here. Just makes me so happy to be able to grab my water or camera super fast. You've also got all the kind of helmet carry options like the other one. You've got loops for ice axes. Skis on here, you do in a diagonal carry because you can't A-frame when you're carrying an Avi bag. The one downside to having an Avi pack is you're carrying a lot more weight and you also have less room to store gear. When you open the pack up, you can see that you have a lot less space because of all of this technology, the airbag itself, and the super capacitor. So you have less space than if you were to just carry a 35-liter bag. But once again, the trade-off for weight and space is in safety. This thing has all the pockets I need. It's super sturdy. Only issues I've had with it have been when I've been doing a lot of cliff drops. I have had this zipper of the bag kind of start to open up, which wasn't great. So I think that's the only little challenge I've had with it, or grabbing it in the wrong spot with a lot of weight and kind of having this zipper open up. So having to kind of pack the balloon back in while I'm in the field. But other than that, man, I'm 100% happy with this bag. It's got, the little goggle holder right here. It's got everything that you need in a backpack, all the special pockets. Could talk about that for a lot longer. What are the things that I'm always carrying in my avalanche bag? I've got a BCA 300 centimeter Avi probe that I keep in my backpack. I've also got the BCA B2 extendable shovel. So handle goes in, boom, and you've got the shovel, you're ready to go. I'll always carry 2 sets of ski straps. Ski straps are handy for a million different things. Sometimes I've even actually tied my hair back with a ski strap because it was in my eyes and I forgot my special headband. So there's so many uses for ski straps. You just never know. In my backpack, you'll also always find a full survival kit. So if I'm going for a backcountry ski, I've got little things in here like a bivy sack, a little overnight blanket, so that'll save you if you're waiting for a pickup and you're freezing cold. I've got some basic first aid stuff in here. I've also got a Spot X in here, and that is my satellite communicator. So if there ever was an issue in the backcountry, I could call an SOS. If you want to learn more about my survival kit, the things I keep in it, and the Spot X, I've got some detailed reviews on the Rise in Alpine blog, which could be fun to check out and could be interesting if you're trying to figure out the types of safety gear you should be carrying and learning the pros and cons to owning owning a SAT communicator like the SpotX. The last piece of safety equipment that I have is my beacon. I use the Black Diamond Recon BT beacon. It's not the top of the line guide beacon, nor is it kind of the cheapest version of the beacon. This has worked well for me. Thankfully, I've never been found buried in snow with this, but I constantly test it in the field and I practice, and it works well for all the functions that I need. And I do trust the Black Diamond and PIEPS technology that's shared between these beacons. For skins, I've only ever run one pair of skins my entire career, and those skins are the G3 Universal skins. So these red ones, you've probably seen them a bunch of times. G3 is a Vancouver company, love to support local, but these guys make really great skins, and the Universal climbing skin has done everything I've needed and more. Sure, maybe it's not the most glidey or this or that. For me, I'm not overly particular, and this sticks to the snow when I want it to when I'm climbing up, so I've got zero complaints. Chain hang to my dang-a-lang. Chain hang, chain. Okay, a few final things that I honestly couldn't live without as a person who loves skiing. The first and one of the most important pieces of equipment that I love is this Dry Guy boot dryer. So this is just something I bought on Amazon. Every time I get home from skiing, I put these into my ski boots and it dries the liners. So liners out, and I put these into my ski boots, dries the liners, and that prevents the liners from getting moldy and stinky, and kind of helps them last and live a much longer life. So dry ski boots are the GOAT. And if you don't dry your ski boots, your feet are gonna freeze if you're skiing multiple days. You know, sometimes your ski boots won't dry in that shell for a whole week. You might go out the next Saturday, they'll still be a bit damp on the toes, and you're gonna get frozen toes. So the Dry Guy boot dryer is honestly my secret to long-lasting ski boots and comfortable feet. In terms of cameras, I use two main cameras. The first is the GoPro Hero 11. I'm filming on it right now. I find it has great audio, crisp footage, and I'll typically put that on my chest so it captures the audio well. And then I run an Insta360 One X3, and I put that on my head. And the reason I do that is because I can capture great videos which can be used for social and for video. If the GoPro doesn't pick something up, then the Insta360 will. So I can capture everything. The mix of these two cameras, I think, is the ideal for any ski creator out there. We've done it. We've made it. We made it. There you have it. That's my entire ski getup. I think I covered everything. If I didn't, let me know in the comments what I forgot. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about any of those specific pieces of gear. If you want me to make a more detailed review on like an Avi pack, on the skis, you know, on the backcountry gear, anything like that, I'm super open to making more detailed review videos. This one's just a general overview. I've left some links in the description, which are affiliate links. If you click them and you buy something from that website, I might get a small commission, so thank you if you click any of those. I think that's all. I've showed you guys everything pretty much that I own, and now it's time to get the heck out of my ski layer. I'll see you next time, and hopefully it's going to be on the snow. Sayonara, folks. Stay spicy.